Good morning, and this is for this month's Thoughts on Leadership. I'm here at a Volvo dealer, Marshalls, in my hometown at this moment, Grantham. A couple of months ago, I was looking to buy a new car, went around various dealers and came here, got such outstanding service that I ended up buying two. So for this month, I'm wanting to look at what is the leader's role in creating good customer service. So let's have a look at that for this month. Morning, Andrew.
Hi, Paul.
A few months ago, I bought two cars from you. I actually came in to buy one and ended up buying two. And we talked at the time how that I was so impressed with the customer service that I got from you, from Marshalls, and generally here. And I had been to 3 or 4 dealers before I came to you and bought what I did from you. This month in our Thoughts on Leadership, I'm really trying to understand what the role the leader has in creating customer service. But let me first ask you, what do you believe makes good customer service?
I think try and be attentive to a customer's needs, the ability to react quickly. Obviously, there's never problems, there's always solutions, and try and put a positive tilt on things.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, we get a lot of my business is repeat business, and through that is trust more than anything else. If a customer will come back to you, it's because they've got the right car, have the right level of service, and obviously the service department is very important because I only get to see a customer probably once every 3 years on a very sort of close basis. In between, it's down to the guys in the girls and service department to actually look after the customer, make sure that there's no problems, get things done quickly. But I think that our ability to react quickly when somebody's had a problem, they can break it down, we can get the service done, rather than the usual thing, oh well, we can book you in 3 weeks, we might be able to lend you a car, let's say, well, we can get it done tomorrow, or the day after, we can lend you a car. We can, as I say, react quickly to the situation, because it's remembered.
What struck me was your honesty, to be honest with you. I mean, if you couldn't do something, you just said you can't do that.
Yes.
And it wasn't that you could do it, and then later I found out that you couldn't. What struck me was that you were just able to make those decisions and move forward. And I do believe that that's a very powerful part of customer service, that you're actually being able to deal with issues when they arise and not duck and dive them. And I know we've talked about that before. But in order for that to really work, in order for you to be able to make a decision and move with it, you must feel comfortable with your line manager here, that your general manager, or even with Marshalls, that they will back you up on your decisions.
Oh yeah. I think, obviously I've been in the business now for a lot of years. I've actually been here for over 12 years now. And yeah, you do feel confidence in the manager that, general manager, obviously, the guy who runs the business, that if there is a problem and you can get it sorted, that again he will back you up. So we've got no problem there at all. I don't have a great deal of direct involvement with the head office. That's obviously work through the general manager. But I've got a lot of confidence in it.
Good. Oh, that's brilliant. Thank you very much for your time.
Oh, pleasure.
So what is the essence of customer service? What makes customer service happen in a way that satisfies you and I as the consumer? I think the point I'm really wanting to make is customer service at the front line. Customer service, in other words, when it's face-to-face with you and I, depends on what is actually going on behind the organization. It's the engine behind it. If there's no faith in the systems, in the people, in the management, in the processes that are behind the organization, then the ability to give customer service at the front line level is minimized. See, if a leader is wanting to develop in their organization a customer-orientated, a customer-focused business, then what's going to be needed is that it starts with the leader themselves. What are they doing? What is the contribution that they are having, which starts the chain reaction through the organization? And that's what I think is we need to look at as leaders. What are we doing? What's our contribution to this whole process? We heard from Andrew this morning. In his business there, what he believes is effective in terms of customer service is his ability to react to issues and problems that occur. When an issue arises, they deal with it. Allowed to deal with it in a way that they think best. He was saying to me that 9 out of 10 times the decision that he makes is fine. 1 out of 10, the decision turns out to be not exactly right. He could have done better. It should have been handled in a slightly different way. But his manager still backs him as long as he learns from it. I had an example of this recently. I went into, as you know, I travel a great deal, and I went into a country and hired a car. Now, I use a particular car hire company. This is a company which has given me their gold card and who I've used consistently for a while. On a previous visit, I had left a set of keys in the side pocket of the car, and I flew off to my next destination. When I landed at my next destination, I looked in my bag and realized I had left my keys in the side pocket of the car. So I phoned back to the city, gave them my information, which is my name, the car, the registration number of the car, my card number, etc., etc. And I actually got put through to the people on the floor who were receiving the car from me and so forth. And I spoke to a lady who said, "Yes, Mr. Bridle, we've found your keys. They were in the side pocket of the car." So I said, "Great, will you stick them in an envelope, please? Put my name on it, put my card number on it, and keep it safe. It'll be a couple of months before I'm back again, but don't worry, Mr. Bridle, however long it is, we'll stick it in the office, we'll look after it, and when you arrive back, just ask at the desk and they'll have your envelope with your keys in it." I said, "Thank you very much." Now, when I returned a few months later, you know what's coming, the keys weren't there, and everybody denied knowledge. It's not that the keys were missing. It's how it was handled and how it was handled by the management that has actually caused me grief. Because what I wanted was a set of keys. And if what I was looking for was, well, okay, we can't find your keys, Mr. Bridle, but hey, listen, if you've got a second set, go and get a second set cut, get what's necessary done, give us the bill for it, we'll cover it for you. But no, there has been a string of emails and telephone conversations that have gone on for over 4 months. Even to the stage, at one stage, when I was told that it was my fault because I didn't take the name of the person that I spoke to. And if I taken the name of the person I spoke to, then they may be able to track it. So it even got to the level of blaming me. Now, to me, the greatest issue was 2 things. Nobody at the front desk was allowed to make a decision. That was very obvious from my first visit there, that nobody at the desk there is allowed to make any decisions whatsoever. When I got through to a manager made a decision. The decision was that my next car hire would be for free. And as much as that is very nice and it was very complimentary and considerate of them to allow my next car hire in the country to be a free car hire, it didn't deal with my issue. And what's worse, nobody ever asked me what I really wanted from this. Nobody at any stage said to me, "Mr. Bridle, what do you want at this stage?" And my answer would have simply been to them, "I want you to get me a set of keys. Get a set cut for me, or you have allow me to go away and cut a set of keys, and we'll do it." So nobody was able to make a decision. The management made assumptions about what would appease me, what would make me feel happy. And in reality, here we are, 4 months later, I am still unhappy with the organization, despite having a week's car hire for free, and frustrated. And it is really because of those 2 issues. Management aren't asking me and listening to what I want. They're making assumptions as to what I want. And frontline are certainly not in a position to ask any questions, much less make a decision. And in fact, gone so far as to blame me. So to me, it starts with the leadership. The point I'm trying to say is, as a leader, we have a responsibility in terms of customer service. We can't say customer service is the customer-facing people's responsibility. It's our responsibility. It's the way we behave. It's the way that we lead. It's the way that we manage our systems that's going to allow the person at the front line to give outstanding service or not, as the case may be. I recently had a problem with a bank that I'm dealing with, whereby the person that I wanted to deal with had not replied to me. I then found out that they were supposedly on a training course, and then later I phoned on another day, the person was on holiday, and then I phoned another day and the person was interviewing. And it was at that stage that we got upset and said, no, this is just going on too far. And I spoke to the regional manager and said, we're unhappy. Things have built up over a period of time here with you. I'm now one step away from taking this business to a different bank. And he apologized profusely to me. And then he said to me, this is, what do you want? What is the issue? What do you want out of it? Which was a great step forward. And then he said to me, well, I'm very, very sorry, but your usual person you've been dealing with is in hospital. So literally 2 or 3 hours before, somebody in the office says that this person is giving interviews this afternoon and can't speak to us. And then I find out that the person is actually in hospital. So now I'm thinking, you've lied to me. Somebody has lied to me in your organization, and the whole organization's image has become tarnished in my company because somebody at the front line lied to me. And what's going through my mind is, if somebody at the front line is lying to me, then I bet their bosses lie to them. And if they lie to them, then there's probably a culture of lying in that organization. What are they lying to me about the service they give me? What are they lying to me about the fees they're charging me? What are they lying to me about? And so my mind starts to wander onto other things. And this is very typical of the way people are. Management need to be setting the example. Leaders are setting an example of the customer service they want. They are driving the culture in the organization. They're the ones who make it happen and make it possible to happen at the front line. So this month is a really challenging questions for you. What I'm wanting to ask you is, you as an individual, as a leader, how are you in terms of being an example to your people about the leadership in customer service that you want? Are you a customer-focused person yourself? And what I do not mean by that, are you customer-focused in terms of when you are face-to-face with the customer, how do you act? I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about how good are you at being customer-orientated when you don't see the customer? In other words, when you're dealing through your people. Because how you deal with them will finally come out in how they deal with the customer. And that's the steps that we need to be considering. So, how are you in terms of real customer service? How are you in being the support mechanism to allow customer service to be outstanding in your organization? What are you doing, as in your role, that enables people on the front line to give the service that's required in the organization? Think about those questions. Look at yourself as how customer friendly you are. Look at the culture you're driving in the organization. Many of you will have heard me have said before that the behaviors we have come out of the beliefs that we hold, and our beliefs come out of the perceptions we have on issues. So what is the perceptions that you have about your staff, about your systems in your business, and about customers? Because those perceptions are driving your behaviors and are driving the behaviors of your people. So work at engendering in your people a perception about the business, about your systems, about you as a manager, to enable you and them to give outstanding service in your organization. So I hope I've given you some thought there for this month. Thank you for listening, and I look forward to seeing you again next month.